What up, guys? Got an instant book review for No Rules Rules, Netflix and the Culture of Reinvention by Hastings, founder and CEO, with Erin, Meyer. This book is sweet. It's all about how if you create a culture of freedom and responsibility, it allows your people to not only tap into their highest potential and highest level of productivity, but because you're giving them autonomy, they're actually the happiest. So there's three main ways they say to create this culture of freedom and responsibility. And those are incredibly high talent density, hiring the absolute best people, creating a culture of candor, openness, and feedback, and removing controls, like removing rules. So high talent density sounds obvious. Everybody wants the best employees. Netflix will go above and beyond. They'll pay them top dollar, and they literally want you to take calls from recruiters and ask them what your market value is, and then go to your boss, tell them your market value so that your boss can give you a raise before you leave and go to a different company. So the proof is in the pudding there. They want to create a culture of candor and feedback, and they're all about giving feedback, and it doesn't need to be something that is personal. It's just like, it is what it is. It's feedback. You take it, you learn from it, and they purposely create a culture of giving feedback in front of others as well. So people are practicing it and getting good at it, and it's just becoming a normal part of work. And they talk about different parts of the world where in like the Netherlands, it's very, very direct, and they'll just give you feedback. In Japan, they don't give feedback in groups at all. And so Netflix has had to balance going into different parts of the world as they've grown into a global company, on how they want to assimilate, but also bring their culture of feedback global. And then removing controls. When you have high talent density and you've got a lot of candor and feedback, then you can start to remove rules. There's no vacation policy at Netflix. You can take off whenever you want. You can take off for as long as you want. You don't have to get it approved. And if you get hired to do a certain job and you have certain decision-making as a part of your role, you don't need to get your decisions signed off on by somebody else, including your manager. Netflix thinks that slows you down, and it creates too much of checks and balances that are just going to stymie innovation and creativity and speed as far as like organizational speed goes. So like one example is a guy that gets hired and he's in charge of choosing different documentaries that Netflix is going to have. And he wasn't sure if he should bid on one because it was really, really expensive because it was getting a lot of attention from other companies as well. And he asked his boss, and his boss was like, I can't make that decision. You're the documentary guy. That's why we hired you. So he has the full autonomy to make that decision. All his boss will do is he'll give him what Netflix calls context and not control. So his boss won't say, you have to make this or this decision. His boss will say, if you think this is going to be the documentary that blows up at Netflix, then you should totally get it. But ultimately, it's still your decision on if you should bid on it or not. So high talent density, culture of candor and feedback, and removing controls. If you can do those three things, your organization is going to create a culture of freedom and responsibility that will allow your employees to tap into their highest potential, their best productivity, and they'll be the happiest. So it's really, really interesting. The whole gist is just that in the industrial age, it was all about error prevention, assembly line manufacturing, making sure things don't go wrong. But in today's information age, companies in the creative space, they need to have speed and be able to adapt and be agile. And you want to be able to remove control so that your employees can have speed, adapt, and be agile when they're making different decisions and doing different things to push your company forward. So it's really cool. You should totally read this. If you like the Netflix and chill. But you should totally read this if you're interested in how one of the most popular, successful companies of the last 20 years has gotten to be where it's at today. If you guys have read this, I would love to hear what you think. Please hit me in the comments. Otherwise, please bang subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.